Welcome back, because you all loved the last video that I posted about the best and worst DIY TikTok and Instagram. I am going to continue this as a series because it was so well received. And let me tell you, I just feel like this is just endless content as a series because there are so many bad DIYs out there. Granted, I am throwing a few good things in there, but I would say 99% of them are bad. Some DIYs should just not be done by yourself. Please bring a professional in. So let's get into it today because I've got a list, an ongoing list of good and bad. The Santa Claus of TikTok. First of all, how dare they disrespect Shania Twain and that song by using it for this? Oh. As you notice, they used cinder block, they used drywall, they used foam, they used spackling, and then they painted over everything. I mean, I get the direction that they wanted to have this very like bohemian styled look, but oh my God, first of all, cutting cinder blocks is an absolute nightmare to begin with. And then you're just creating that as the base. I get it, you wanted something stable, but this is not looking great. Also, every arch is like a different alcove. If you wanted that really nice look, at least make them all consistent. We have one in the bottom corner there that's like a half egg. Then we have like a cone head one. This could have been done really well. Like clearly they took out an existing closet here to make this space work, but there are so many elements that could have been done way, way better. I would have built an actual bench with clothes storage there instead of having that all open. I don't know what state you're in and what weather you get regularly, but this is going to be so dirty so quick, especially if you're using these bottom parts for your shoes or boots. I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 10. Like the effort was there, but like using that many different materials and then just covering it up, this is a disaster waiting to happen. You've just glued everything together and hope for the best. Like those cinder blocks, when they added those curves in and then spackling, I've got a feeling those are just gonna fall apart in like a month. Yeah, I don't recommend this one whatsoever. I was like, how dare they use such a good song for such a shitty DIY? Okay, we started off on a bad note. Let's hope this next one's actually good.
Have you ever heard of Roman clay? So one of the most common questions I've been getting about my DIY kitchen reno is, what is the paint color you chose? And it's actually not a paint color, it is Roman clay. And unlike paint, it is much thicker and you have to apply it with a trowel rather than a brush and roller. And you have to do multiple thin layers of coats. And the nice thing about Roman clay too, other than the fact that it looks really cool, is it also helps to disguise drywall marks and other imperfections, because this is my first time drywalling in here and it wasn't perfect, I would say. So it's nice to have something that covers it up, but it's also so beautiful.
Renee, I'm gonna give you big props for this because from the looks of it, you did a fantastic job. I love Roman clay. I think it is such a beautiful feature to add into your home, but like she said, it is not for the faint of heart. This can go wrong in so many ways if you don't know how to do this correctly, because like she said, you need to trowel this on, sand it, trowel another one, sand it, and then do a third coat for it to actually look finished. The color alone, I'm giving 10 out of 10. And she mentioned that like this is her own DIY that she's doing for her kitchen. Honestly, I would look at this and I would think a professional did this. So I'm gonna give her huge props. This looks so good. Roman clay is a really fantastic finish if you want that added depth and dimension into your space, especially on a wall. And in my opinion, it looks way better than lime wash because it's smooth. It doesn't have that like really harsh textured cross look that you mostly get with a lime wash finish. You know what? Design Daddy approves this one. Okay, third on the list. Let's see if this is good or bad.
Whoa, we got so much hate for these copper bench tops, and I've got a feeling the same people are gonna hate our choice in kitchen tiles. But boring white kitchens just aren't for us, and they never have been. Honestly, we've never installed kitchen tiles before, but it really wasn't that hard once you got the knack for it. And this is what the kitchen looked like after we install the tiles. Next, we've got to install a roof. It's a long story. And if you like white kitchens, scroll on.
Oh no, I don't even know where to start here. First of all, the DIY copper countertops is, oh my God, that is going to be an absolute mess. Copper patinas over time and it turns green. Like, look at the Statue of Liberty, for example. This is going to require so much maintenance to begin with, but like, that's not even the point of this video. The fact that they're using these large scale floral, like tropical print tiles as the backsplash is another like major red flag to me. At least they admit it. I've never tiled a kitchen before, and then once you get the hang of it, it's okay. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not okay. The fact that they didn't use any spacers or dividers to make sure that those are even means that that is not going to look good. If that is ever lit from above or below or from the side, you're going to see the imperfections. The tiles are not going to line up right. There are honestly so many things that need to be left to a professional, and kitchen installs, especially for countertops and this, need to be done by someone who knows exactly what they are doing. The seams alone in between the pieces on these copper countertops, oh, they're just gonna harvest bacteria, the growth. Like, the one great thing about copper, I'll give them that, is that it is antibacterial and antimicrobial, but that is not going to actually save you from how dirty and dingy these are going to look. You're gonna have to clean that literally if you drop a spot of water on it every time.
I did not plan on painting my cabinets today, but my toddler recently ripped off whatever this coating is that's on top of our cabinet. And I was like, wow, that looks like it would be really easy to paint on. Let's see how this looks on the cabinet. So I started on this kind of hidden corner just to get an idea of what it would look like. And then after it dried, here it was, and I thought it looked pretty good. I just wanted to do something today that would make me excited. We've lived in this house for over a year and have not done any projects. Home design and decorations just were not a priority, and they weren't in the budget for us. It feels really nice to finally put some of our own touches on this home. I can't wait to see what the finished product looks like.
Oh, okay. Bless her heart for wanting to make her space a little bit more, you know, homey, especially since they've lived for a while. She's going crazy. She wants to do some DIYs. Let me start with what big mistake she is making is painting the direct MDF cabinets. If you do not put a shellac-based primer, and let me repeat, a shellac-based primer on that first, you are going to chip. It is going to come off, especially since she said that the reason why the original coating came off because the kids pulled on it. If you look at it the wrong way, if you close that door too hard or open it too quickly, you're going to get scuffs, you're going to get scrapes, and that is going to look like absolute garbage in no time. Please, if you do any DIY that involves repainting over anything, whether it be MDF or an IKEA piece or your own piece that you're just finding as like a vintage, if it's solid wood, please, 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 whatever you do, sand it first to make sure that there's some grit so it can actually absorb the shellac-based primer. Once that is dry, then you can actually put paint on it. Then it will allow it to actually stay, because this is going to look, oh my God, like a disaster in less than a week for painting it. So please learn something from these videos if that's all you're getting, if not just a good laugh. So prime, then paint on anything you're doing, any DIY, if you decide to do it yourself. Especially for cabinets, because these are high touch areas, they're going to show wear in seconds.
This is what every window in Ontario will look like 20 years in the future.
The magic window wall as a window.
I can open both panels of this window to give myself a full unobstructed opening. It also has a patented retractable bug screen built right in the frame, an integrated blackout blind, or amazing sunshades that block 97% of the UV from coming inside my home and fading my furniture. You know what the craziest part is? It's available today, only from magicwindow.ca.
That's pretty fucking cool if I have to say so myself. My first critique is calling it Magic Window. Come on. That sounds so childish. I feel like you could have had something a little bit more clever to have a really unique design for this, especially if it's patented already. I love a bifold or a collapsing window. I think it is fantastic in any setting, not only to allow more airflow in, but for a cleaning maintenance level. You do not know how many times I have struggled to clean the outside of my windows. I know for sure these will not be to code to use in condo towers, but in homes, being able to clean the outside of these windows first of all, is fucking fantastic from my OCD standpoint. 2, I love that it has a built-in bug screen that slides all the way open. And on top of that, it has a retractable sunscreen. I'm honestly so impressed because I personally hate window treatments. The fact that these are built in within the actual frame themselves make it super clean, super simple. You can have that privacy level, you can have that bug screen level, you can have an open air window. This is like a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. I obviously have not tried this or have spec'd this personally in any project yet, but I am super curious to see how it actually functions and its lasting power in a space, but I'm super interested in this. I'm so amazed with people that just share some stuff online because these DIYers are not only bold, but they are brave. If there was one thing, no, sorry, there are multiple things I would actually mention. There are multiple things you should never touch as a DIYer. Plumbing being one of the most important ones. If you're adding a new plumbing stack in to move a toilet, first of all, that requires a lot of very specific and fine-tuned work for a professional to achieve. Never mind doing it yourself. The before and after of this entire bathroom, you know what? I will give them props for it because I think they did a great job with the finishes. Not my personal choice, but you know, it could work with their space. But the toilet alone of then creating almost like a wall hung one with the plumbing is behind it. This is like an accident like waiting to happen down the line. God forbid you sell this home and someone opens up these walls to where your plumbing is and they see a hack job of like a plumbing stack that comes down from the wall. Not a huge fan of the bulkhead. You know, the shelf above the toilet I think is a great kind of like added feature, but overall, this is something you do not do, people. Electrical, plumbing, drywall, any major parts that actually involve, you know, a building code violation or having to get a building permit for like your HVAC or plumbing or electrical. This is why these rules are put in place to make sure that things like this do not happen. These are so fun. Honestly, like I said before, this is like endless level of content because there are so many good and so many bad. But for this next round, when I bring back this series, I want your help on it. I want you to actually find a good or a bad one, put the link in the comments below and I can watch it. And you know what? I'm probably gonna add it to the list because the endless levels of disasters, yet at the same time, there are some good ones that deserve praise as well. So please let me know in the comments if you have seen one, if you have the link directly to it, whether it be on Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, or any of the other million socials, send it to me and I'm gonna do a review on it. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. These, like I said, are so much fun to actually just like look and critique. And I know I'm gonna get a million comments being like, oh no, the bitchy gay is making comments. You know what? That's why you're here. That's why you're watching. You've come to watch Daddy. As always, make sure you're subscribed to my channel. And if you are not already, follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Mr. Phoenix Gray for all my daily tips and tricks. And if you're ever second guessing yourself, just ask, what would Design Daddy do? Not do some of these DIYs because leave it to a professional, people. Boom.